people express emotions by facial expressions and gestures. One of the other ways to find out their real emotions and what people really feel like is by lie detectors. Well, there are different ways, but professionals need to use some special tools or equipment, and technology helps. In the beginning, it was primitive, probably way to say, but technology nowadays has happened and it has changed a lot. Well, how can we find out if someone is lying in your profession? Probably you have seen documentaries about those agents who work for CIA, for example, and they do have a very important mission to carry. But even when diplomats or ambassadors or someone who is very important and works for an important institution has to control his or her own emotions, we cannot find out if they are telling the truth or if they are lying. Officially speaking, we do have lie detectors. When I say we, I mean the institutions, and they are used especially on important cases, just like finding out the truth when crime happens or when there are implications about political issues which are very important. Lie detectors are named polygraphs. By the name, you can see that it is an apparatus if you can make the connection with the graph. Probably it has to do with the graphic shown of the signal. So, polygraph is based on the assumption that lying causes emotional and therefore psychological arousal. Polygraph means writing several things. You see that writing several things is in inverted commas, which means we assume that it is writing. But we can also use the word translating what this apparatus tells us. The word translate is used in many sciences, which means that we are going to understand or find out what happens. In this case, it means the truth or a lie in case a person is lying. So what are these several things? Because many things go on when people are under stress or when people try to keep calm. For example, I'm trying to keep calm because I have to be focused on what lie is and what lie detectors are, and I need that in order to be much more clear with you. So, these several things include respiration, the way we breathe. You may have noticed that when we're on, for example, our breathing rate changes. When we are excited, again, it is not the same as when we are listening patiently or just getting a simple news. But breathing also does change when people tell a lie. That change is not a huge one and can be detected by this polygraph. Heart rate, it is connected. If the respiration changes, it means that the amount of oxygen that goes to the brain or to the heart changes, and the amount of oxygen in the blood changes as well. So we need more oxygen to breathe. That is connected with respiration, the first one. And needing more oxygen, it means that the heart is going to pump more blood so that we have the needed amount. So there is a faster heartbeat, usually in the cases when someone is not telling the truth. Why does that happen? Because they need to think faster, which means that the brain needs much more oxygen than normally. And the third is blood pressure. Of course, they are connected. If the respiration, the way we breathe changes, and then the heart rate changes, it means that our blood pressure is going to change as well. You have probably heard someone has a high blood pressure, another one may have a low blood pressure. when this is common for people to have high blood pressure, it means that it is their body, the immune system functions that way. But when people normally do not have a high blood pressure, but they do have this rising of the level of blood pressure, it means that they are not telling the truth, they are lying. Again, the change is not that big. It means that we cannot distinguish that by simply looking at a person. In this case, again, the detectors, the polygraphs are needed. The next thing that the polygraph has to find out or notices is galvanic skin response, the amount of electricity that your skin will conduct, a function of how much you are sweating. This polygraph does have some wires. They are put maybe on your temples, they are put on your wrists and on your heart and some other points of our body where the pressure is higher compared with the other parts of the body. That is because those are the points of our body where we do have our main being, something from biology, if you remember. So, normally, our skin does not sweat, but when we are under pressure, we start. Do you remember any situations being stressful? For example, if you are under a lot of stress before the exam, some people might start to have difficulty in breathing, as we mentioned before. Some people might have their palms with sweat, and this is a change on the skin. It is not just the pulse of our body, but it can be felt in other parts by the polygraph. So remember, respiration change, the way we breathe changes, the heart rate changes, the blood pressure changes, and the skin does have some changes which is shown on its surface. Those are probably the way that the mechanisms that are used by the apparatus are going to tell us if a person has shown us the truth or is lying. Anyway, we have to be careful. Not everyone can use polygraphs. We need to be professionals. If we are not someone who does not know the polygraph, probably we are going to have consequences on a person, on somebody's life, and on an institution if it is a representative of the institution. First of all, a polygraph requires a skilled operator to be used as a lie detector. The operator, it means the person, so in the case of finding out the truth or the lie, it is the individual, he or she, a professional. The operator asks questions with known answers that are answered truthfully or falsely to establish the pattern of polygraph responses. What does that mean? It means that when they want to ask about something, that is interrogating a person about a crime that has happened, a situation that he or she has been involved, or where